good afternoon folks and welcome to Lisa Loves, and today I am discussing the new Netflix movie. I thought it was going to be a series, The Dirt. This is obviously based on the very famous book about the exploits of the rock band Motley Crue. It was directed, it was a very strange choice of director here. We've Jeff Tremaine, probably best known for Jackass. I can only imagine that they probably chose him due to some of the antics that Motley Crue got up to within their lives. Before we sort of get talking about the movie, about what I thought, let's give you the names of the actors who are playing the forces. We have Douglas Booth, who plays Nikki Sixx, Owen Rion, who plays Mick Mars, Daniel Webber, who plays Vince Neil, and Machine Gun Kelly himself, who plays Tommy Lee. Now I have to say on the get-go, Machine Gun Kelly's portrayal of Tommy Lee was perfection. He had that rock star down to perfection. Now to give you a bit of a background, I am a rock fan. I love Motley Crue. I'm very much aware of Motley Crue's past, their musical history. I have read The Dirt. Let me just get out here before I start this. People will hate me for this, but here it comes. I do not like Vince Neil's voice. I find it high-pitched and whiny. I love the music. Kickstart My Heart is just such an awesome song. Just don't like the guy's voice. Right, we've got that out there, let's go. So this follows the exploits of the four-piece rock band Motley Crue, going from how they were created, where they met, going through to the starting out in their career supporting bands like Dokken and Y&T, portraying their early shows and following them to the big time and what went on behind the scenes and some of the wildness and debauchery that followed them. It also covers Nikki Sixx's very, very famous overdose where he dies, and he's actually brought back to life by a paramedic who just happens to be a Motley Crue fan. Everyone else wants to give up on him. This guy says, Nikki Sixx is not going to die in the back of this ambulance, not while I'm here. Gives him a shot of adrenaline straight into his heart, hence the song Kickstart My Heart. So that bit is obviously covered. It's one of the most known parts of Motley Crue's past. We also cover the incident where Vince Neil is driving with Razzle from Hanaway Rocks, very much under the influence of drink and drugs, and he crashes the car, head-on collision, and he is responsible for the death of Razzle from Hanaway Rocks and very, very life-changing injuries of people within the other car. Everyone that knows the story knows that Vince pretty much got away with this scot-free, very little punishment for this. It's a bit of a contentious subject amongst Motley Crue fans, but there we go. Also some other things covered where, if you know anything about the history of the band, Vince Neil's daughter Skylar actually passed away from cancer. That's a very moving, it shows a completely different side to Vince Neil, who's very much put across as the womanizer, philanderer, cheater, reprobate. We do see that other side of him as a dad, and him having to say goodbye to his daughter, which is heartbreaking. They did convey that bit very well, I thought. So, what did I think? I won't go into any other instances of things that are covered. Oh, something I have to mention. Anyone also that knows the history of Motley Crue will know that for one album they split up and Vince Neil was replaced by John Corabi. Preferred his voice, I'm sorry folks. I know it's not Motley Crue without Vince Neil, I understand that. They glossed over that completely. John Corabi didn't even get to speak. I loved the guy's voice. Anyway, the point of interest is John Corabi is actually played in this movie from Anthony Vincent from the YouTube channel Songs in 10 Styles. I will pop a link below to his channel. If you haven't heard of him, go check this guy out. He is incredible. Lovely dude, very down to earth. It's just, his talent is outstanding. This guy's voice you would not believe. Very entertaining videos, but he actually is in this movie and he kept it secret until the launch date, until the movie went live. Obviously it's a very, very small part, but he's in The Dirt, man. I mean, really. So let's get past all that. What did I think? Right. On the get-go, I'm going to say that it's impossible to put The Dirt, the Motley Crue history, into a film of 1 hour and 48 minutes, I believe. This needed to be a 6 or 8 part Netflix series of hour-long episodes. A hell of a lot of stuff was missed out of this. The timeline was not consistent. Things were in the wrong place. One of the actual gigs, and this is something my husband spotted that really narked him, he's just like when it comes to music history, and he's a big Crue fan, he's seen them several times. I've seen them once, front row might I add, but there's one of the scenes where they're walking on stage and it's meant to be, I think 1982, 1983. They're just starting off. There's a girl in the front row wearing a Motley Crue t-shirt from 1986, I believe. So that t-shirt wasn't even designed. The logo was changed at that time. Motley Crue were known for slightly changing their logo up with each album. This girl's wearing a t-shirt from 4 years in the future. Little things like that. Little things that they say happened that maybe happened slightly differently. It seems certain things have been given a slight shine to make people appear in a slightly different light, slightly better light than they perhaps did in real life. Having read the book, an awful lot of the debauchery that happens, an awful lot of the naughtiness is not in this movie. It does convey some of it, but there's a wealth of information not in here. There's things I would like to have went more into, like Mick Mars is sort of like the degenerative bone disease he has. Everyone that knows Motley Crue knows that he wore dark glasses for an awful... He was very rarely pictured without them. The actor that plays him is not wearing them at all in this movie. But then there's other things like Nikki Sixx is popped up on drugs on Tommy Lee's wedding day to Heather Locklear, and they've got like his expressions and everything perfect. They actually at the end show clips of the real Motley Crue side by side with the film, and they've got some parts perfectly, it has to be said. But this was not long enough. This needed to be a series, at least a 6-part hour-long series, to get half of what we needed to get in. Ozzy Osbourne's in this also looking like a complete plunker, it has to be said. All of the stuff that it showed is true, but Ozzy got up to so much worse than is actually put in this movie. This is one that real rock fans, real Motley Crue fans will really like to watch, but they will see sort of issue after issue. Where's this? Where's that? Why did they not put this in? But then there's other little snippets that will make you smile, things that you know did happen, and how they convey it is pretty spot on. So I will say what they did I enjoyed. The ending was a bit... Me and my husband knew exactly how they were going to end it, down to how the shot was going to actually physically look, and that's exactly what they did. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. I probably will watch it again. The music soundtrack's obviously incredible. But this needed to be longer, this needed to be a series. That's my biggest criticism. Too much was left out and too much was glossed over, but what they did cover, with a few little exceptions of glossing over certain things, I enjoyed. So let me know below if you've seen it. What did you think? I will leave you with a few little photos that I took when I saw Motley Crue probably about 10 years ago now. So over and out from Lisa Lives.